Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland.
There will be lots of drama, that is for sure. The gloves are off.
Attacke.
What amazing battles going on.
Da musst du alles auf den Punkt bringen.
Oh my goodness.
Da wird's eng. Wow, da geht einer massiv fliegen.
What an amazing move.
Das ist Rennsport at its best.
Welcome back to the seaside, everybody. Welcome to Circuit Zandvoort in the Netherlands. We are getting ready for race 6 of the season for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Yesterday, we saw the most successful man in the history of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany taking his 3rd win of the season, his 32nd win in this series. Larry Tenforde from pole position dominated the race. The real story, though, was Harry King coming through from 6th on the grid to overtake Theo Overhaus in the absolute closing stages of the race to steal 2nd place, relegating Overhaus down to 3rd, although he scored his first ever podium in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. But it's all changed today. Yes, there is a Dutchman on pole position, but not that one. It's this one you can see on your picture. Huub van Eindhoven, who starts on pole position, his 2nd ever pole position in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Yesterday's winner, Larry Tenforde, there on the inside. But it has to be said, the drivers who have started on the inside, particularly with the standing starts here this weekend, have tended to get a little bit of grip. And we've seen many drivers in a lot of races we've seen that have started 2nd, being the 1st into turn 1. And we saw that yesterday. So Larry Tenforde in a very strong position, but his main championship rival, Harry King, starts 3rd on the grid. So there is Huub van Eindhoven, our pole sitter. He on his 2nd ever pole position, trying to make up for what was a very disappointing day yesterday. Got into all sorts of drama, came home out of the points in 19th place. Larry Tenforde, he won both races from pole position last year. Well, he's won one from pole position. He ain't going to win this one from pole position. He might win it from 2nd, but I think Huub van Eindhoven has got something to say about that. He would love to take his first ever win in front of his home crowd. But keep an eye on Great Britain's Harry King for Allied Racing. That car is very dialed in and he's feeling very confident. And just caught out in qualifying with red flags. It seems to be the story of this year. Further back on the grid than he wanted to be yesterday and a little bit further back today, but certainly now close enough to be able to do some damage and potentially get further up the podium. Robert de Haan, another of the local heroes on his debut full season in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, was leading the race yesterday. He was the one who beat Larry Tenforde from P2 into turn 1 and led the field. But a puncture during the race saw him retiring, and Robert de Haan suddenly with a bit of a mountain to climb in the points championships, because he drops down into 5th place, some 57 points behind Larry Tenforde. No, Harry King, because Harry King leads the way. You saw Ariel Levy there, who starts 5th on the grid from Israel, and yesterday's 3rd place finisher, Theo Overhaus, who starts 6th. So in the points championship, it's Harry King who leads the way from Larry Tenforde by just 2 points. It was very much damage limitation yesterday, and he just clawed his way forwards through the field to hold on to that points lead. But Larry Tenforde starting in front of him, so Harry King knows what he needs to do. 3rd in the championship, Theo Overhaus, a rookie champion from last year, 48 points adrift of the overall championship this year. 4th is Huub van Eindhoven, 52 points back. Then Robert de Haan in 5th place. He's 57 points back from Harry King. So there's an awful lot to play for in the rookie championship. Flint Schering leads the way from Cast Havercourt by just 6 points, with Senna van Zerlen 3rd in the rookie standings, 7 points back with 82 points. And leading the way in the Pro-Am Championship, Søren Spreng. He's won all bar one of the Pro-Am races this year. He's 18 points ahead of Ahmed Al-Shihab, with Michael Esman in 3rd place. We are at Circuit Zandvoort here in the Netherlands, about 20 kilometers from Amsterdam, located in the North Sea dunes of the the Netherlands. Yes, you may well put your fingers in your ears because it is deafening. Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. If you've never witnessed this in real life, you have missed out. The noise, the speed, the excitement. There is nothing like it. And as these cars pull out from the grid, those in the home state grandstands need to put their fingers in their ears. Wonderful stuff. So it's Huub van Eindhoven who will lead the field around on this formation lap on this circuit, which is 4.259 kilometers around. That's about 2.646 miles. 14 turns, 10 to the right and 4 to the left. So let's take a look at the starting grid for this race, and it's Huub van Eindhoven who has his second ever pole position alongside Larry Tenford, Harry King third, Robert De Haan. Keep an eye out for those two, neither scared to get stuck in. Ariel Levy, good qualifying from him, fifth with Theo Overhaus for company on row 3 of the grid. Alex Tauscher and Marvin Klan. Marvin had a bad day yesterday, looking to make up for that. Cass Havercourt, one of the up-and-coming Chargers, and Great Britain's James Kellett on row 5. Row 6, Nathan Sharp had his best day ever yesterday with Colin Berninghausen, who's just been racing in the Carrera Cup Benelux race. Flint Schering and Janis Stiak are on row 7 of the grid, and on row 8 it's Senna van Zerlen and Jan Seifert. Good qualifying from him. On row 9 it is Karel Krelt from Poland and Horst Felix Felbermaier, who was in the wars yesterday, been looking to make up for that today. Ahmed Al-Shahab, our leading Pro-Am driver on the grid, ahead of Gianluca Tucciaroglu, and then it's Zoran Spreng, our championship leader in the Pro-Am category, alongside Sebastian Freimert. On row 12, Kiana Blum, the youngest driver in the race, with Mikael Esman for company. That is your runners and riders for this race 6 of the season on this fearsome circuit. The circuit that is tough to tame. The circuit that bites hard. There is confirmation of the championship situation. Harry King just 2 points ahead of Larry Tenforder and 48 points to Theo Overhaus. Huub van Eindhoven, Robert De Haan, Marvin Klan, they are not out of it. And I can tell you, Harry King and Robert De Haan from the second row of the grid, they will be pushing hard here. Neither are scared to get their elbows out. They can see 2 Dutch drivers in front of them on the grid. Well, Robert De Haan's Dutch himself, but he can see 2 of his fellow countrymen ahead of him. And Great Britain's Harry King in 3rd place. And he will want to find a route past. So, cars now just coming to a stop on the grid. There's a fair bit of wind here, blowing a bit of sand onto the circuit, but apart from that, conditions are absolutely perfect for race 6 of the season. Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Are you ready for some entertainment? Are you ready for 30 minutes plus 1 lap of racing? This is going to be thrilling. Race 6 of the season. Porsche Carrera Cup Germany is go! And away from pole position, Huub van Eindhoven moving to try and pinch Larry Tenforder, but that P2 once again proving to be a great spot to start from is Larry Tenforder, who leads into turn 1. So it's double Dutch at the front, Huub van Eindhoven in second. Robert De Haan's got the jump on Harry King. There's a number of cars, look like Alex Tauscher coming around the corner sideways, just fighting around the massive banking of turn 3. 19 degrees of it, launching them out towards turn 4, then flat out up the hill towards turn 5. The blind crest, it takes courage to go up there with your foot planted on the floor, then downhill towards turn 7. Bit of braking here, Larry Tenforder leading the way. Now, Harry King and Robert De Haan have been noted by the stewards. Now, we were looking from a different angle here, so I'm not entirely sure what the stewards have noted, but clearly there has been some drama between Harry King and Robert De Haan. De Haan we're on board with now in 3rd place. Harry King, well, he will be steaming about being beaten off the grid by Robert De Haan. De Haan knows nothing other than trying to win this race. He's not interested in second and third. He's only interested in the top step of the podium. He needs to get his championship back on track. Larry Tenforder leading the way if the race finishes as it is now. Larry Tenforder will jump to the top of the point standings. Larry being the defending champion, the 3-time champion. Now, there was a bit of smoke coming from Harry King's car as they headed up around 14. Is Harry King in trouble? I could see some smoke coming from the right rear of his car. Meanwhile, Marvin Cloud to the inside of Theo Overhaus. Now, that is for 5th place. And Overhaus just getting his elbows out, saying, no, you're not. And Marvin Cloud saying, yes, I am. Up onto turn 3, going high they go. Overhaus gives 21 car of Marvin Clan the elbows out treatment. Suddenly in the background, that's Alex Tauscher there looking deadly in car number 13. Keep an eye on James Kellett in the green and yellow car behind them too. He's looking to make progress forward. Just behind him is Colin Bernighausen, who's second in the rookie race. Colin, who was in the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux race just a few minutes ago, jumped from one car to the next and now doing it all again, doing a great job in that 9th place. Now, we saw that smoke coming from the rear of Harry King's car. Was it bodywork? What was it? It looks like it stopped at the moment. It may have been on the 18-degree banking of turn 14. Hope we're going to get a shot of that as he comes out of 14 next time. At the moment, looking solid in 4th place, but he won't be happy. He had qualified 3rd. He had plans to get past 2nd pretty early on. It hasn't happened. He's dropping back a little for Robert de Haan. So has Harry King got a problem with that number 19 Allied Racing car? We saw just some wisps of smoke coming from it. Nothing there now. So maybe, whatever it was, maybe it was a bit of bodywork rubbing, whatever it was. Now let's have a look at him and Robert de Haan on the 2nd row. Harry King went across. Well, if there is any smoke in from bodywork, that's where it happened. You saw debris coming off the Harry King car. He went across to shut the door on Robert de Haan, and well, Robert de Haan was having none of it. You'd have to get up pretty early in the morning to shut the door on him. That's what he says. That is where the contact came from. That is what the stewards are looking at. Car 19 has been shown the black and white flag. So Harry King has been given a warning by the stewards. If he gets out many more of those, as you can see the view from Larry Tenforder, who van Eindhoven moved across, tried to pinch him as much as he dared, but Larry Tenforder was already in that gap. So Harry King in 4th place. He's had a black and white flag for a dangerous maneuver. It is a warning, but if he gets too many of those, he will get a grid drop in a later race. So Harry King deemed to be at fault there, and you can see that was the view on board with him. A little bit of a clonk, and you can see behind Ariel Levy going 3 abreast, trying to push his way through as well. So here comes our race leader, Larry Tenforder, Huub van Eindhoven. He's not giving up on this. It's triple Dutch at the front. Larry Tenforder, Huub van Eindhoven, Robert de Haan, Harry King behind. Our leading German driver, Theo Overhaus, in 5th place. Incident between Theo Overhaus and Marvin Clan has been noticed. We saw that up on turn 3, but Harry King is struggling. Theo Overhaus now challenging into turn 1. All is not well with the number 19 Allied Racing car. You can see that his pace has dropped. He's circulating not especially slow, but certainly enough to be vulnerable to Theo Overhaus. Overhaus going wide up onto turn 3. Harry King doing a bit of drifting. The 2 cars get together, but Theo Overhaus has to fall back behind car 21. So he's going to have to let Harry King back through so that, but now, well, that's a gift for Theo Overhaus. He's got to fall back behind Marvin Clan. Well, lucky for him, Clan has got past Harry King. Otherwise, he was going to have to get past Harry King again. But King is clearly struggling, now falling into the clutches of Alex Tauscher. We can see again, and you get a feeling that Harry King has not got great handling on that anymore. Theo Overhaus did well, bit of drifting out of that 19-degree turn. Kept it all together, Some wonderful onboard shots here. That's what it looked like from Harry King's perspective. And Overhaus just giving it a bit of opposite lock, keeping the power on. Easier said than done from me, but has that position. So the race stewards have said Harry King in that 19th place has the black and white flag. They've also said that Theo Overhaus has to fall back behind Marvin Clan. So he's going to have to do a lot of work to get back past him. Right, Larry Tenforder leading the way. Then it's Huub van Eindhoven. Then it's Robert de Haan, also our leading rookie. But look at Huub van Eindhoven. That GP Elite car is quick into turn one. Larry Tenforder knows how quick it is. He used to drive it. That was the car he won the championship in last year. He's now moved across to Proton Huber competition. But Team GP Elite, Huub van Eindhoven, he's desperate for his first ever win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. But he's got Robert de Haan now challenging him. If he makes a move on Larry Tenforder and he leaves a gap, Robert de Haan will be through. So Huub van Eindhoven, very much the meat in the sandwich. 3 Dutch drivers leading in the Netherlands. Larry Tenforder, Huub van Eindhoven, Robert de Haan. There's your 1, 2, 3. They've broken clear. Marvin Clan, Theo Overhaus has done what he was told and fallen back into 5th place. So taking a look at a replay here, that's Søren Spreng, the leader of the Pro-Am Championship, going wide. Mikael Esman, one of his challenges in the Pro-Am Championship, sneaking through. So now the leading Pro-Am driver is Ahmed Alshad, Esman second. There's a replay. That's something we're going to be watching in slow-mo for a few years to come. This should be interesting. Harry King, he's going to be correcting it any second now when the contact is made. A great perspective there of the British driver. And there it is, the moment he got together with Theo Overhaus. Such a skilled driver, Harry King, a real entertainer, but not going in the direction that he wants to go at the moment. Zenne van Zerlen further back, challenging another of the local drivers. Nathan Sharp had his best day yesterday of the year. He currently in 12th place. Zenne van Zerlen, the 13th place driver, pressuring Nathan Sharp for position. Looking down from the perspective of turn 1, that was down the pit straight. Out around turn 2 they come, and then it's turn 3, the high 19-degree banking. The drivers all taking different lines around turn 3. Some go high, some go lower, some go to the middle. Creates great overtaking opportunities. A very technical turn, one that is quite hard to master. Right, well, riding on board with de Haan in the graphic at the side of your picture, you get an idea of what it's like to be sat behind the wheel of one of these cars. Robert de Haan in that 3rd place. I can guarantee you he is not settling for 3rd. He will be looking at Huub van Eindhoven, and Huub van Eindhoven, who has been looking for that first win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany for so long, would dearly love to do it in front of his home crowd. Into the pits is Janis Stiak, the other of the Team 75 Bernhard cars. It's identical to Robert de Haan, but clearly he's had a problem and he's retired to the pit lane. So such a shame to lose Janis Stiak, who was so impressive last time out in Oschersleben. But Huub van Eindhoven in that 2nd place. He's done 39 races in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. His best result was a 2nd place at Hockenheim last year, but he's yet to take his first win. He had a pole position at Imola earlier this year. I was not able to turn that into a win. Would dearly love to do it in front of his friends and family. Many of these Dutch drivers got a lot of guests here this weekend at this legendary circuit, being entertained by Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Zenne van Zerlen goes sailing through on the inside of Nathan Sharp, but overcooks it, carrying far too much speed out of turn 1. He's able to keep it going over the gravel trap, around the escape road. He rejoins on turn 2, but he has lost a load of places. Let's have a look again. Just too much speed. You get the feeling that Nathan Sharp knew exactly what he was doing there, don't you? So Zenne van Zerlen just too much speed. Sharp went, okay, mate, you carry that much speed into turn 1 if you want, and I'm just going to tuck back in and keep going on, and that's exactly what he's done. Senna van Serlen, though, a very talented, one of the many talented young drivers. He's in the talent pool, group of drivers who are taught, mentored, coached by Wolf Hensler, the former Porsche driver, does a great job mentoring the talent pool here in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Right, look at this. First, second, third, fourth, because Marvin Klan has caught up with Robert De Haan. This could explode at any minute. Out of turn 12 towards turn 13. 1, 2, 3, 4. Theo Overhaus, do not discount him either. He fancies getting involved. You can see how hard he's pushing it as he picks up a bit of gravel. Then behind Theo Overhaus is Harry King, clearly struggling a bit. Then Alex Tauscher having a good race in 7th place, ahead of James Kellett in 8th. Colin Berninghausen, Cass Havercourt, the driver who is leading in the Rookie Championship in Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup, has been so impressive. Then Flint Schering, then Nathan Sharp, then Jan Seifert, Horst Felix Felbermeyer, Sebastian Freimert. One driver that has fallen back through Pat Ariel Levy in 18th place. So clearly he's had traumas at the beginning of this race. Now, the incident between Theo Overhaus and Harry King has been investigated by the stewards, and they have said no further action. So they've decided that that was a racing incident. Nothing to be seen here. Theo Overhaus, the quickest of anybody in Sector 1, just set a purple, the quickest lap of, or quickest sector of the race so far. So Theo Overhaus in car 34 has not given up yet. There's James Kellett and Colin Berninghausen. So Berninghausen challenging for 8th place. James Kellett in the very lively green and yellow colours, a real star. He's driving on all of these circuits for the first time ever. The British driver who's made a name for himself in Porsche Carrera Cup Great Britain has come through the ranks in British racing. Now cutting his teeth in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, which is a very, very tough challenge indeed. It's a steep learning curve. He's loving every minute of it, but he'd love it even more if he could shake off Colin Berninghausen. He's in that 8th place at the moment, looking pretty solid at the moment, but Berninghausen, a man who's already had some practice today, now pulls on alongside. Not so solid now, out of 14. It's a drag race towards turn 1. Berninghausen tries to give him the squeeze. Meanwhile, further back, Cass Havercourt and Flint Schering also go side by side. James Kellett going deep into turn 1. Gives Berninghausen the squeeze. Berninghausen has now led Cass Havercourt and Flint Schering through. So James Kellett, great driving there, manages to hold on to the position. His main rival getting relegated a couple of places as a result of that. Out of turn 3, flat out up the hill towards turn 5. They come now on board with Flint Schering. Ahead of him is Cass Havercourt in car 24, the driver who has impressed so much since he sat behind the wheel of a Porsche. He has been absolutely brilliant. All of these drivers, absolute entertainers here. We're reaching the halfway point of the race. Colin Berninghausen once again getting involved. He has a look to the inside of Flint Schering. Flint Schering has the inside line, holding that tight line. They come around turn 10. Still, Flint Schering holding on. James Kellett able to break free a little at the moment because the fighting behind. Cass Havercourt between them. Still to the inside, Flint Schering, Colin Berninghausen trying to go around the outside, then the outside becomes the inside. Colin Berninghausen with his nose in front. Out of turn 12 they come, and Berninghausen taking that position back. Now Cass Havercourt, Berninghausen driving around him like he's stationary. Out of turn 13 they come, onto the banking. Flint Schering staring at the back of Havercourt. Now Berninghausen will be thinking about getting back after James Kellett. He'll have another go at that position. There is James Kellett crossing the line. Berninghausen in 9th place. Then Cass Havercourt And Flint Schuring looking again at this, and you can see James Keller just kept it tidy into turn one, maybe a little bit high going through the Tarzan turn, but he did exactly what he needed to do, and the three cars behind him scattering. Now car 24 has been told to fall behind car 55, so that will explain that move. So Cass Havercourt was instructed by the race stewards to fall behind Colin Berninghausen, so they have decided that there was an issue with that move that we saw in turn one, and Havercourt has to do it all again. So that's how Colin Berninghausen got back up so easily into that position. That's why he just drove around him. Flint Schuring, we could see the view from him as he fought hard with Colin Berninghausen as well. Berninghausen, the winner out of that particular battle at the moment, but now he will set about after James Kellett once again, because all of this has allowed Kellett to get away. That is Carol Kraut, who's gone spinning up on turn three. Now, I don't think he's been collected by anybody. He's been able to rejoin, so all's good there. On board with Senna Van Sturlen, we'll see what happened. It was he who he got together with, up ahead of them, Ariel Levy as well. He managed to escape that. So Carol Kraut and Senna Van Sturlen getting together as Van Sturlen down in 17th place at the moment. Meanwhile, Marvin Clan is challenging Robert De Haan, car number 21, the French driver, France versus the Netherlands for the last of the podium positions. Huub van Eindhoven still in that second place while all this has been going on. Larry Ten Forder has stretched his legs to about 8/10 at the front, so he's not exactly running away with it, but he's certainly controlling it from the front. So Marvin Clan hasn't made it stick for that podium challenge at the moment. Robert De Haan holds on to that third place. De Haan, also our leading rookie. Cass Havercourt is second in the rookies because he's now got past Colin Berninghausen. Berninghausen is third in the rookies. It's Ahmed Al-Shahad who leads in the Pro-Ams in 19th place. Michael Esman in 20th place is second in the Pro-Ams. Søren Spreng third in the Pro-Ams in 22nd place. He is the championship leader in the Pro-Am standings, but he would really love to be a bit further forwards than third place in those championship standings. So, Robert De Haan in third place, staring at the back at Huub van Eindhoven, once again wondering what he needs to do to get past into turn 13, the Kumo Bocht turn, at about 175 kilometers an hour in fourth gear, then down to 123 kilometers an hour, then it's flat out into 14, 210 kilometers an hour, 7,500 revs, fifth gear around turn 14, and then everything in towards turn one, and now to the inside, Robert De Haan under braking into turn one, finds the route on Huub van Eindhoven, and Robert De Haan moves up into second place. That was 252 kilometers an hour, sixth gear, under braking, and that's where he saw the gap. Now Huub van Eindhoven coming under pressure from Marvin Clan. So Robert De Haan sets about after Larry Ten Forder. Larry Ten Forder, though, in all of this has extended his lead to nearly 1.5 seconds with 11 minutes plus 1 lap remaining of this race. Looking back at Marvin Clan from Huub van Eindhoven's perspectives, Theo Overhaus getting involved. Now has we've got a full course yellow. Okay, that's what occurred there. Looked like, I thought for one moment Van Eindhoven had got a problem. Now, he will almost certainly, I should think, there will be some places given back because the full course yellow came out, and I'm trying to look to see what the issue is, and I think, now what is it that is causing the problem? I wonder, is it Michael Esman? I'm looking to see whether there's any cars. No, he's moving. Looking to see if there's any cars stationary on the track. So we've not been notified as to why there is a full course yellow, but clearly there is something on the track that is causing a problem. The stewards will be taking a look at the positions they were in when the full course yellow came out. An element of confusion here, so We're just going to keep an eye. I can't see any cars that are stationary out on track. I'm wondering if there may be some debris somewhere. Yes, hard working, the Orange Army. Round of applause to that man. Safety is everything. That's somebody's splitter, by the looks of things, out on the pit straight. And that is not only a hazard for people who are stood watching, but also could cut a tyre on the fastest part of the track. We spoke already about 252 kilometers an hour down the pit straight. This was the move that Robert de Haan made on Huub van Eindhoven into turn 13. I was into turn 1, wasn't it? So he saw the gap on the inside. Van Eindhoven didn't really defend that hard. De Haan came through. Took that one pretty easily, so I wonder if Huub van Eindhoven is maybe running out of grip a little bit. You can see, well, how fed up he was about that. Right, full course yellow is about to end. We are racing again. So let's take a look. A bit of confusion there. Larry ten Voorde, Robert de Haan, Marvin Klan and Huub van Eindhoven. So we saw some of the cars slowing at different speeds when the full course yellow came out. There's been no notification of any infringement. And Huub van Eindhoven, he did have problems. So into the pits is not a penalty of any sort. Well, there's nothing that has been flashed up on the screens. So Huub van Eindhoven, our pole sitter, visiting the pits and rejoining. It's a bit of a mystery as to what's happened there. So he's rejoined. It must have been that he got a tyre going down or some issue like that, because it certainly wasn't a drive-through penalty or anything. Nothing that we've been informed of. But we've lost Huub van Eindhoven from this battle. It's Larry ten Voorde leading the way from Robert de Haan, Marvin Klan and Theo Overhaus. Then Harry King also having a traumatic race ahead of Alex Tauscher. James Kellett in 7th place. So he was a bit frustrated after qualifying, but looking for a good, solid result. 8th has been his best so far this season. He's had a couple of 8th places, so if he could keep it there and bring it home in 7th place, well, that will be his best result ever in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Still wondering what happened with Huub van Eindhoven. I don't think he had a tyre change. We had no notifications on the timing screens of any penalty for car 23, but we have now, because he's under investigation for speeding in the pit lane. So for whatever reason he came into the pits, he's clearly done it a little bit too quickly, and he's now under investigation. But whatever happens, he's out of the hunt for the podium positions. He's down at pretty well the back of the pack, and that is so frustrating from the driver who'd started from pole position, and he will be pretty furious about that. So Cas Havercourt, 2nd in the rookies, 8th overall. Colin Berninghausen behind him. Flint Schuring in 10th place, 4th in the rookies, with Nathan Sharp there as well, rounding out the top 11 with Jan Seifert there. Ahmed Al-Shahad is leading in the Pro-Ams. Mikael Esman is 2nd in the Pro-Ams. And Zoran Spreng, 22nd, not having a great race. Zoran Spreng, who's won in the Pro-Am category every race bar one this season so far, 4 from 5. Right, well, joining them in the pits as Karel Kraut. We'd already seen Janis Stiak. Overtaken under full course yellow. Car 21 and 23 have been reported to the stewards. That's Marvin Klan, our 3rd place driver, who's been reported to the stewards, as indeed has Huub van Eindhoven, for overtaking under a full course yellow. We saw them all slowing down at different times. This is what brought Karel Kraut's race to a premature end, and clearly there are issues there. As a result of that collision, he's decided to park it up and give it all another go at Budapest in a couple of weeks' time. So all kicking off here, isn't it? So Huub van Eindhoven, I would say I'll go and ask him afterwards what's happened, but I think I'm probably going to let him cool down for a bit, because he's had a traumatic race and it might be about to get worse. Also may be the case for Marvin Klan. You can see he is the fastest man. He has been the fastest man on the track at 138.106, but he is under investigation for potentially overtaking under a full course yellow. Theo Overhaus would not care too much about that, because if he does pick up a penalty, it's going to promote Theo Uberhaus to the podium. Less than 5 minutes remaining of this race. I'm spending more time looking at the timing screen than I am at the live screen. Larry Tenforda was 1.963 ahead the last time they crossed the beam. Robert De Haan in second place, looking vulnerable to Marvin Clan, who has that investigation hanging over him like a very, very large weight. Theo Uberhaus in fourth place, potentially rubbing his hands together at the thought of a podium. Harry King, well, it's damage limitation for him. He's clearly got an issue with that car, so fifth place. Bit of a result for him. Alex Tauscher in sixth place. He's just been quietly getting on with the job, not making a fuss in car 13. James Kellett looking for his best result of the year. In fact, his best result ever in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. He's a little way back from Alex Tauscher, some 3.7 seconds. He's going to struggle to make that up in less than 4 minutes. So maybe seventh is about as far as Kellett is going to go. But of course, the penalty that may be incoming for Marvin Clan might change all of that about anyway. Larry Tenforda, yesterday's winner, is going to be leaving the Netherlands and leaving Zandvoort potentially as the championship leader if things remain as they are. Leading the race, 2.1 now ahead of Robert De Haan. It looks as though this is about as much as Robert De Haan is going to be able to offer to Larry Tenforda at the moment. His main attention is on Marvin Clan, who is behind him. He may well know that Marvin has an investigation for overtaking under a full course yellow, but there's nothing certain as Colin Berninghausen. He was racing against Kalle Rovanperä, the two-time World Rally Champion in the previous race of Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, doing a bit of drifting as a result of that, I think. So Colin Berninghausen, 10 out of 10 for entertainment, third in the rookies at the moment, 9th overall. Cass Havercourt, second in the rookies, 8th overall, just ahead of him. We're on board with Flint Schöring, another of the local drivers, the younger brother of Maurice Schöring, who was so successful here in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, looking to follow in his footsteps. Has been very impressive indeed in the top 10 at the moment in the number 16 car. A welcome addition to Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Currently fourth in the rookie race. Podium not on at the moment unless he can find a route past car 55 ahead of him. But if he wants to do that, he's going to have to get moving. Less than 2.25 minutes remaining of this race. You can see from the picture on the inset on the left-hand side of the picture, the view from Robert De Haan looking back at Marvin Clan, and you can see the view from Flint Schöring looking forwards at Colin Berninghausen. And you can see as they go up that hill, takes a lot of courage to keep the foot buried on the floor. A blind crest and a corner all together. Then downhill they come in towards turn 7. To the braking there, which is at 155 miles an hour. Then a little squirt out towards turn 8, 145 kilometers an hour, and around to turn 9. Spectacular here in the sand dunes. Right, car 23, Huub van Eindhoven, a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So Huub van Eindhoven is currently in 21st place. And out of the points, I expect he will probably be thinking, I may as well just park this thing up and be done with it. It's not been the home race that he was dreaming of when he climbed out of bed yesterday morning. To the inside of Mikael Esman he goes, but it's all for nothing because the 10-second time penalty is going to relegate him to almost last in the field. The only driver who'll be behind him is Søren Spreng, who's also had a pretty torrid time. He's in 22nd place and some 15 seconds back from Huub van Eindhoven. So there's your confirmation. Heavens above, we are into the last 30 seconds or so of this race, plus 1 lap. So our race leader is up at turn 5 at the moment. When Larry Tenforda crosses the line next, he will be commencing his final lap of the race. Huub van Eindhoven just continuing for the last few moments of this race, but all opportunities are scoring points. Frustrated, probably doesn't even start to describe what he's feeling at the moment in the Uniserver by Team GP Elite car as he stares ahead of him and Ahmed Al-Shihab. So the battle continues for second place. Robert De Haan, to remind you, third place. Marvin Clan under investigation for possibly overtaking under a full course yellow. Where is Larry? Larry's into turn 11 at the moment, heading into turn 12. So very shortly, Larry Tenforder, car number 1, will start his final lap and potentially move to the top of the point standings. Into turn 14, he comes for the penultimate time. Robert De Haan in second place. Marvin Clan filling his mirrors. Theo Overhaus just waiting in the background. And then there's Harry King. Harry King, with whatever issues he's carrying, nursing that car home, getting the points for 5th place, which is going to be better than nothing. He'll have to have a rethink and come back stronger in Budapest when we regather in a couple of weeks. Robert De Haan still looking under threat. You get the feeling Marvin Clan hasn't settled for that 3rd place, has he? Into turn 3 for the very last time. Larry Tenforder leading the way. We're looking back from 2nd place. Robert De Haan and Marvin Clan. The gap is there. It looks as though De Haan has done what he needs to do. Don't speak too soon to hold on to that 2nd place. Larry Tenforder up at turn 7, turn 8. Some nearly 2 seconds, well, now down to 1.6 seconds ahead of 2nd place, but that will be of little concern to him. He's done what he needed to do, kept the car together, kept out of trouble. He got the jump on that opening corner where he beat our pole sitter, Huub van Eindhoven, into turn 1. And has led every lap of the race. There is Larry Tenforder into turn 11, and then it'll be the chicane of turn 11 and 12 for the very last time. In towards turn 13, he will come. This is 13 that he's entering now. It'll be up onto the banking for the very last time. Larry Tenforder into turn 14, out onto the pit straight. It's double Dutch, a double win for Larry Tenforder, and a Dutch 1-2 for the 6th race of the season for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. 3rd across the line, Marvin Clan from France with that investigation. Then Theo Overhaus in 4th place. Harry King in 5th, ahead of Alex Tauscher. Cass Havercourt 2nd in the rookies. In 7th place, Robert De Haan being the leading rookie. Colin Berninghausen 3rd in the rookies, ahead of Flint Schuring in 9th place on the track. James Kellett in the closing stages, dropping back to 10th place, having made all that progress up to 7th. Clearly some issues there. Dropped back to 10th place, but still a good points haul. Nathan Sharp in 11th, ahead of Jan Seifert, Sebastian Freimut and Ariel Levy. Fairly quiet day for him in 14th place, and a Senna Van Serlen who rounds out the top 15. Kiana Bloom just out of the points in 16th place, but he will get points in the rookie standings. So he was 7th in the rookie race, ahead of Horst Felix Felbermeyer, Gianluca Tucciaroglu, and then Ahmed Al-Shihab in the Pro-Am Championship, taking his first win of the year in the Pro-Ams, ahead of Michael Esman and Zoran Sprang. A difficult day, 3rd in the Pro-Am. So here we go, all very much subject to confirmation. I will remind you, there is an investigation ongoing into Marvin Clan, whether he overtook under a full course yellow. So this is all very subject to confirmation. There's your top 8 from this race 6 of the season here at Circuit Zandvoort. Positions at 9 to 16, with Flint Schuring doing a pretty solid job there in 9th place. But there's your confirmation of 9 to 16. Positions 17 down to 22nd. Huub van Eindhoven, our pole sitter, in a distant 21st. The only non-finishers being Karel Kret and Janis Stiak. Real shame that we lost both of them, but they will be back. I have no doubt about that when we regather. You haven't got too long to wait for the next race, because Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany is heading to Hungary, to the Hungaroring in Budapest in 2 weeks' time. And we are really excited about that, part of the GT Open package. And great for the championship to visit Budapest for the first time, the Hungaroring. Legendary track, very excited to see these cars around there in just a couple of weeks. Robert de Haan, well, he would have loved to have won in front of his home crowd, but a respectful thumbs up to his fellow Dutchman, Larry ten Voorde, who can stop car number 1. Just keeps on winning, and you look at him, it's like it's his first ever win. He always just utterly savours every moment. And there is the sobering news for Harry King. He drops from the championship lead, 12 points behind Larry ten Voorde. Theo Overhaus staying in touch. Robert de Haan starting to climb up as well. And of course, that may be subject to change if Marvin Clan does receive any kind of penalty. But that is how things stand at the moment. Robert de Haan receiving congratulations from Team 75 Bernhard. Really great to welcome Timo Bernhard and his team back onto the grid in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany for 2024. His sister, Jennifer Leising, who is actually managing that team, Timo Bernhard, with a lot going on. So the drivers having weights checked, all about minimum weights, including the driver, the helmet and the hands device. And then hopefully we can get them on to the podium before too long. So Larry ten Voorde taking his 33rd win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. He's already a 3-time champion, looking pretty solid as he challenges for a 4th championship. Robert de Haan, 2nd place. It's been a kind of all-or-nothing season for Robert de Haan so far. He has had a 3rd place, a 14th place. He got his first win at Oschersleben. He's had a couple of non-finishes the last 2 races, but he's got it back on track again now with a 2nd place. He is the outgoing champion of Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, and he was last year's Porsche Sprint Challenge Southern Europe champion as well. There is 3rd place at the moment for Target Racing, Marvin Clan in car number 21. We've had no notification of any penalty, so it looks possible that he's going to keep that. Robert de Haan for Team 75 Bernhard, the winner in the rookies as well, and 2nd overall. We knew he was going to be quick. We'd seen him last year in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany as a guest, and he finished 3rd and 4th as a guest in this series. But that man there, what can they do to stop Larry ten Voorde? He's returned back to Proton Huber competition, of course, Huber competition where he won his first championship way back in the dark ages of 2020. He's returned back to them to try and do it all again for a 2nd time, and potentially for his 4th championship in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, doing what he needs to do, and taking 2 wins out of 2 here in the sand dunes of the Netherlands in front of a massive crowd of people as part of the DTM package. At the moment, we're just waiting for him to move from Parc Fermé up onto the podium. And hopefully, if we got time, we will see him climbing those stairs and receiving his winner's trophy. Lots of people to congratulate, and of course, a big crowd here. For a lot of drivers, the home race is something that inspires them and makes them quicker. For other drivers, the pressure of a home race can be overwhelming, performing in front of many, many guests and fans. And we have so many Dutch drivers in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, 7 of them to be precise, and 2 of them taking the top 2 places on the podium. And many Dutch fans here watching, as well as people who travel from all over Europe and around the world to be here to witness wonderful racing in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. At the moment, the cameras are up there as well as Marvin Clan. Good for him to get another podium. The driver who was the Porsche Carrera Cup France champion in 21 and 22, third last year in the Porsche Carrera Cup France, and has decided to move into Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, a tough championship. And if you can win in that, you can win in anything. And it's his second podium of the year for Marvin Clan, equaling the third place that he scored at Imola back at the start of the season. There is Toby Shimon, who is our stadium announcer, a character around the raceways, who presents our third place driver, Marvin Clan, onto the podium from France. Pausing a little on that top step. Here comes Robert Dehaan. The very tall Robert Dehaan congratulates Marvin Clan. He won yesterday, he won today. His name is Larry Tenforder. Could not say it better myself. It's Larry Tenforder who jumps on to the podium. We'll get a mechanic from Proton Huber Competition. Maxi Kleisch is who will be joining us on the podium to represent Proton Huber. So now we have the national anthem. Once again, the Dutch national anthem echoes out around the arena. I love the fact that Larry's on the top side of the podium and he's only about the same height as Robert Dehaan. Little and large, absolute entertainers here. So the trophies to be presented. CEO of Porsche Germany, presenting third place, Thomas Illner. Second place being presented by Carsten Soens. And it's all happening downstairs, isn't it? The winning trophy, Dr. Niels Husker, who will be presenting the winning trophy to Larry Tenforder. And Niels Husker also will present the team champion trophy. Niels from Sixt. So great to have Sixt sponsoring this series, the headline sponsors. First time we've ever had one of those in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, now Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, and we are very grateful for all they do and bring to this championship. A wonderful sponsor, great to have them here. Lots of their representatives here this weekend enjoying the Dutch sunshine, enjoying the photos that are being taken on the podium. From here, in 2 weeks' time, we head to the Hungaroring. Then we have a bit of a summer break. We head to the Nürburgring for round 5. Round 6 will be the Sachsenring in September. Round 7 to Austria, the Red Bull Ring, also in September. And it all comes to a close in Hockenheim at the end of October. We do hope you've enjoyed our coverage of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Round 3 here from Circuit Zandvoort. We look forward to seeing you in Budapest in 2 weeks' time. The Hungaroring awaits. Will it be Larry Tenforder? Will it be Harry King? Or will it be Robert Dehaan? Maybe somebody completely different. It's all to play for. Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Join us in Hungary. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.